Are you finally tired of losing?
Claire, from this moment forward, that I will never lose again.
So if your answer was yes to any of those, I can't remember the first one. I think I asked if you was tired of losing. So I'm assuming that you are. You tired of losing, ready to win. You ready to do your big, ready to show these guys that they can't troll spin on you. You ready to show and flex your gamer muscles. I have the perfect thing for you right now, today, in this moment. Whenever you see this, it is still guaranteed that these implements that you can add to your gameplay will help you get better, move around quicker, and understand your opponents in a way different fashion. If you don't believe me, money back guaranteed. I solemnly swear it. Scout's honor. Alright, so we're going to kick it off with three things. Three things that I feel like is the most important thing to know when it comes to playing Demon Slayer Hinokami Kagura 2. Terrible name. Personally, if you're going to name your game, your anime game specifically, because we all know how I feel to be a nerd, and somebody like, oh, you a gamer, what you play? Oh, I play Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. Like, bro, I gotta announce a sentence every time that I want to just say the title. Anyways, this is how you improve with step one, your movement. I can run through the basics real quick. You got your block, your dash, your side dash. Side dash is my personal favorite. Back dash, I don't really utilize it unless I'm doing a forward dash and I back dash like that. Or I'm going into a move and a side dash. Going into it, back dash, preferably going into it, forward dash to continue on the combo in a different manner. Or you can mix them up and all that stuff. But that's getting past the point that we are on. Which I do want you to practice. Yes. Sadly, you are still going to have to practice when I give you these tips. That's the most important. But what I'm giving you is stuff that you can know practicing will make you better. You won't just be in the lobby getting pissed all day because you're still not as good as your mans who ain't got no job. So if you practice these tips for at least 30 minutes before you jump on, because this is what I do, you will inherently get better than the average player. You will be at least mid-rank, and once you get past mid-rank, I'll have another video about how to deal with said current meta when the time comes. But for now, all you really need to get through this game, like I said before, is good movement, timing, and damage maximizing. Those are the key things to focus on when it comes to learning and improving in this game. We're going to focus on getting in to connect with your opponent. No real way to say that without going pause. Main thing that I like to do, go in. I don't push block. That was just a reaction that I had when I was coming through. But I go in and I back dash. Usually they start swinging. So that's what you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid getting caught in an armored heavy attack, super armored heavy attack, or a parry. And if they do parry,
yeah, boy,
that is God's gift for you. You have the opportunity to put real pause on them, especially if they ain't got their support. But that's another thing that I talk about in damage maximizing. But for now, what you're gonna want to practice, getting used to sidestepping with every animation. Going in, sidestep, going in, sidestep. Like, no matter if you connect with them or anything like that, you go back, you sidestep, you dashing, you use sidestep. Like, it's the most important thing when I tell you, because it's going to save you. They coming at you with an armored, a heavy attack, or they coming at you with any move that tracks you down like this. They coming at you with something like that. You sidestep maybe twice if you really want to be cheeky about it. But sometimes one is good enough. Is knowing when to sidestep. So that before we move on, what I want you to focus on, if you're trying to improve your movement, is getting your side steps down. Your side steps are going to carry you in this gameplay, because otherwise you're just free into the open. So when it comes to getting your timing right, that is something that is actually, it's a little difficult to practice solo. If you got friends, it's a lot easier. If you really want to be patient, you can practice with the computer. You getting your timing down for your parries, you getting your timing down for your dashes, openings, and like getting your opponent to move on your time. Like, that is your biggest focus. You want to have the power. Switch tech, which I'm not going to touch on that today because personally I don't really know switch tech. Is very valuable. I know a lot of people that utilize it, especially when they're utilizing characters, because switch tech is actually really good. Like, if you're playing Slayers, I highly recommend learning the switch tech. That is a bonus tip that I give for the free ski. Back to your timing. Your timing is knowing how to pressure also. Like if the opponent is staying blocked, I press they block until it breaks, which isn't always the best idea unless you being smart about it. You utilizing your dashes, you canceling your stuff, you keeping them within the grasp. Me personally, I go at them. I be on their guard, something crazy. I be trying to get them to let it go, or their guard gonna break, or they gonna push me off, giving me the space. If you stuck around to the last part, it's not a long story. The last part is maximizing your damage. The way that we can maximize our damage is with resets. Resets are some of the best ways to maximize, which personally I feel like that was a decent reset, because it's you stand on them, you stand on their guard, you stand on their block. And that's what's important. You got to stay on them, be as annoying as possible with it. If they get the chance to block, that's even better for you, because you can now break their guard. That's what it's all for. Like breaking their guard, getting them mixed up in the head, getting that constant pressure up on them, getting them to block is honestly the best thing. What I am telling you will help, because they are things that I am practicing and implementing, making me better. Knowing when to cancel and reset yourself. Like, firstly, you got to know how to control yourself and what and when to do things. Because if you use your support, all right, now you got to realize you got, I want to say that's like maybe 8 seconds. You got like 8 or less seconds for your support to come back. And don't use it foolishly too. You use it and now you got to wait this whole time for them to come. Alongside making sure you conserve your resources in a timely manner, you also conserve your resources in a timely manner, making sure you don't use your supports willy-nilly, because they take time to come back unless you have got your movement together and you can open up your opponent. Which, combining these two things with your timing, so the usage of your resources and your movement, you able to fake out your opponents, you able to distract them, you able to do various things. Your movement is so key to really getting better at the game. So if you able to implement those two, then you able to start doing damage, because you faking them, you in their head, you time your attacks properly, and you moving around them in a fast, crazy manner. You think they think you doing that, but you coming over here, you fake throwing attacks too late. So this is your combo string. You go through it and you fight, and then you like, oh, I want to maximize the damage. But then you do that, you whiff your attack and you waste energy. You waste a full bar that you could have used for when they get up. So you could cancel it with your dash. Still gonna use a lot of it, but you put yourself in a better position. You don't want them to drop. What you want them to do is to land on their feet. And you can do that by doing that and then going into a grab. The reason you don't want them to land, you want them to land on their feet, is because you can start back hitting them as soon as you hit the ground, or your support that you have waiting for you on the ground. So that you can instantly get back into the pressure and do your thing. That's when you implement your movement and your timing, to a degree, if you want to see it like that. A little bit of semantics, but your movement, knowing when to dash, when to cancel, and give yourself some time. So I'm saying, like, it's not crazy stuff. None of this stuff is like stuff that you wasn't gonna learn with time of playing. But now you know what to practice. Now you know what to do when you going into. I'm saying, if you don't believe me, hey, you come back, you come to the stream and tell me about it. Getting into maximizing your damage. Maximizing your damage is honestly a part that I can't really teach you much about, because I don't know who you're gonna play. I can't give you everything, man. I only can give you the basics so that you can improve upon what I'm giving you. So getting better movement and getting better timing are the fundamentals. You get those utilized and you go into the practice range and get those better, you will improve in rank. That is always the case. Like, it's no ifs and buts about it. Your movement, 9 times out of 10 suck. Like, you standing around a lot, you standing in place a lot, and your timing is terrible. You use your supports at the worst moments. You done subbed in the first 3 seconds of the match. Now you are completely out of support and you completely open for combos. And so if you don't believe me in that, just pay attention to your own gameplay. But damage maximization is going to come from you learning your character. Go into the practice range and just hit every button. Hit every button, learn what they do. That is the most important thing. If your character, because this character specifically that you see on screen goes into the air with just pressing what I said mine to be RT, your special, your ninjutsu. When you press you go into the air. So that's a key thing to know when it comes to this. Because if I was using somebody like Gentaru, he doesn't go in the air. He goes forward and he continues slashing. Or if I was using Inosuke does go in the air. And it's like, it's different responses to each character. So you obviously know you got to learn your character. And learning your character, you know what every button does. That's what I'm saying. Do that first. You do that first. You know all your buttons. You confident within knowing that R2 to the side does this specific animation. You don't got to question. You don't got to doubt. You ain't got to worry. Like, you get comfortable with those movements. That is going to maximize your damage. It is going to really set you ahead, because so many people don't know. So many people, they bad at the game because they keep whiffing. That is another thing. Don't whiff. If you are all the way back here, far from your opponent, you don't gotta dash in with that. Like, it is useful because you might beat they dash, but you're also leaving yourself open to being parried. You're leaving yourself open to be sidestepped and then countered. Like, just throwing random moves isn't going to help you, and it wastes your energy. So to maximize your damage, you learn your combo and which route you want to take. 9 times out of 10, it could be your air combo. That's what I like to go with. Connect it off of that and then connect it there. It's not the best usage of things, but you still gotta, side dashing is going to be something rather important for your combo. Things that you should learn that will help your gameplay is what beats what. I touched up on it a little bit earlier on, but this beats normal attacks, obviously. So it beats most specials and it beats majority of armor. You can use it actually to beat what is the thing called? Surge. I forgot what it's called. I play Naruto, so I'll be getting their names and stuff mixed up. Nonetheless, it is a resource that is now gone if they use this stupidly. That an ult can beat an ult. That it's not you in the position. If you use your ultimate first, your opponent decides to use their ult immediately after, your opponent will then win. So what you want to do, if somebody throws a random ult, so a grab will beat an armored attack. Obviously so. Out of everything that I just said, a little bit of word jumble. Hierarchy is ultimates, grabs, armored attacks, and then regular attacks. You implement those couple of things that I said and all the stuff like that, you will improve in your gameplay. It has carried me through many of my matches because my opponent is just dashing, so I'm able to parry him, which is utilizing your timing, which or they just use the armored attacks, which I utilize my movement, sidestepping, craziness on them, or even sidestepping to an ult because they whiffed something ridiculous. And that's what you got to be. You got to learn to punish your opponents. You got to learn to capitalize off of their mistakes by knowing your fundamentals to the T. And you will learn more as you play ranked. But like I said, if you don't believe, try it out or come to the stream and see me implement those things. You'll see me on stream Monday through Friday on TikTok. Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9. It's a 2-hour window. Ain't nothing crazy. But hey, you ain't got to if you don't want to. Probably gonna see me on rank. If you do, make sure your point is made because I want to see hands. Nothing else to say to y'all, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. From the bottom of my heart, top of my skull, I love y'all. Can't wait to do it again.